Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today, as hopefully the title will suggest, it's my entry into the Old Tom appreciation build, and the car I'm building is a Nascar, and hopefully Jeff, who's running the Old Tom appreciation build, will also be happy for me to join the NASCAR group build. I'm not very good with doing group builds because obviously head problems. I get myself under a load of pressure, but I, couldn't help build something for old Tom. God, my neck. I did speak to Tom first because I've got two hot rods in the stash still. I've got a pickup truck that he sent me, which can be like hot rodded. So I didn't really need a car, and although they're quite, including these, pardon the pun, right up Tom Street, I just thought I wanted to do something different because I'm building a hot rod at the moment, and I'll be building, once I've done one for Sean that I've got coming in, which isn't a NASCAR, I'll then build one of those. But the pickup particularly, I've got a certain idea, or two ideas. I've got to distill it down. I've been distilling them down for about 18 months now, 2 years, but never mind. Anyway, thumbnail should tell you it's I have to read this as how good I am with NASCAR. I've been following NASCAR now for probably about 16 months or so. I only see what's on the YouTube, so I'm often a season behind or whatever. So I'm actually watching the 22 season from time to time, and that's the Chase Elliott Hooters, the white and orange one. Now, from what I gather, they only ran this, was it for 2 or 3 races? I think 3, in this livery. I'm not 100% sure. As I say, I'm no expert on NASCAR. I like the, first of all, I like the stance of the cars. I like all the different, obviously, advertising. I like the shapes of the cars. I'm not tied down, obviously, mainly a military guy. I'm not tied down to supporting Chevrolet, Ford or Toyota, which are the 3 cars that run in the series, if you don't know. So I just enjoy them all, and if I can get this one built, I'll definitely build some others. Now, these are like, you can't really get these in the UK. Hannants has a couple of the 1970s, 80s ones, and I think they're around the £46 mark, something like that. Don't quote me, go and look. And they reckon they dropped them from about £64. I mean, 64 quid. That's way out of my league. So I was just cruising on Amazon. I kept putting Salvinos, because this is a company called Salvinos JR, made in the States. A lot of the guys will know this, but all you guys that don't do cars or NASCARs or anything, you don't know. And they make a whole raft of NASCARs, different liveries and that. And I just went on Amazon and I got this one for 36 quid from the States, and that was, or was it 38? No, I think it's about 38 quid with the delivery. I mean, 38 quid with the delivery. And I said to Tom, if we've just, and my wife says, we've just bought a box, because she's bought this for me. We've just bought a box, haven't we? I went, no. And she gave me that knowing look. Well, wife of mine, we haven't bought a box. We've bought a pocket kit. And it's a company called Rare Waves, if you're in the UK. It's an American company. I think that when I looked on, because I bought, rambling again, I bought another kit from them without realising until I saw it, and then I always go and have a look who's done it and obviously what feedback is and all that. And it's Rare Waves again. And I thought, we hadn't got this in yet, and I'm thinking, do I take a punt? Now, I'm not going to go into the type of car because this is going to be built for Sean after I've done this one from the Scale Model Car Guy channel, and so I don't want to give you the make of the kit or but it'll be American kit, obviously. It's coming from the States again through this Rare Waves. Now that cost me £22, including delivery, for an American. It's not try not to sneeze. It's not Salvinos, it's not a NASCAR, right? I don't want to go into it because it spoil the surprise. and of course you're sceptical. I mean, it's going to come from the States and blah blah. And I thought, well, if it's been sold through eBay, they're normally pretty. I don't like eBay having to sell stuff myself, but they are pretty good at keeping companies fairly honest, you know. As in, you'll get your stuff unless it gets nicked in the post or whatever. And yes, it's got to come from the States, but you know, we all know our own postal companies can stuff up a delivery 20 miles down the road. So it's called Rare Waves. Of course, I haven't got anything around with me. RAREWAVES. It's got like a rainbow logo on. If you go on eBay or Amazon for that matter. So if you're in the UK, try them. I mean, I've just, if it gets here, I've got another, as I say, American import coming in, and what happens is, it was 22 quid, but I had to, then they tally up your VAT over here, value added tax, and it only still came to about £23.80 or something, which for an American, I couldn't have, even I went to Telford, I would never be able to pick one of those kits up at Telford for that price. And it's not just because it was a Telford show. I see my American friends going to swap meets and they're showing boxes for 10 quid, you know, and I know, well, $10, and I know that there are more expensive kits as well out there, but it was absolutely, you know, you'd see them for 10 quid, and I'm thinking, I've been following car kits now through the lads on here and lasses, and just keep looking them on eBay, trying to get a feel, like I do for the 1 in 700 ships. Then I start getting an idea of just looking at it, what the price should be, where it's likely to go, and all that type of stuff. For anyone that's smashed dead, how much I remember that stuff. Probably because I'm on eBay all the time. So yeah, you know, I've got to. And I'm sorry, what comes up on your eBay is no more. There'll be no more customs charges, and it comes through the Royal Mail. I don't know how they do it. But it's sent from, obviously, UK from Royal Mail. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works, but it's not cheating the system. It's not. You're not going to get hung up in. You shouldn't be hung up in customs, because I've had the odd stuff come over from the States before, and sometimes, like Tom sent me that kit. I'd got a kit from the States about 2 months earlier, and it got held up in the post office. So I had to pay customs charges with their handling fees of about 8 quid, plus the charge. I had to pay about 22 quid, I think. You know, and it's soul destroying because friends can't send stuff across the water to each other. I don't know what deal how these guys do it. So it's called Rare Waves. So if you're in the UK, possibly rest of Europe, I don't know. Check them out. Don't buy them all, because I'd still like to get the odd one, although she'll kill me if I don't build a couple first. But yeah, Rare Waves if you want your American kits, car kits. I haven't seen any Salvinos on here at the price we got this on Amazon, but again, you know, I was happy to pay close to £40 for this because, to be fair, I wouldn't have gotten it cheaper in the UK, and I wanted a Salvinos Nascar. My other one, as I say, is one of the traditional brands. So I'd say £23 something for that. You can, you're struggling to get an American, even 1990s Revell Nascars in the UK on eBay. You'll often be paying £25, usually with delivery as well. Often more expensive. And it's not just linked for NASCARs, I'm just saying they're actually, for some reason, the Revell NASCARs, well, it's just because NASCAR, and also if they're older kits, often the decals, you're going to have to replace the decals if you're unlucky enough, and that's another expense. And especially as you're probably going to have to get them from the US, because, you know, can't see many British firms holding NASCAR decals. Anyway, this was supposed to be a box opening, so I'm never really fussed about this whole thing where it's got to be in the cellophane. Well, it doesn't have to be in the cellophane, but you know, but it's in the cellophane. Not pre-built. I'm looking at all the decals with a lot of trepidation. So, who doesn't like Hooters? Right, let's go down to the bench and take a look. She bought me a new cutting mat as well. Sorry tubesters, I just had to show you this. This little old chap's 12 years old and he's worn out. He's had a little walk today and he really would like to help me here in the studio, but he's just can't. Dad, I can't keep my eyes open any longer. So you have a good kip, little Mara, and I'll get back to showing you the box. Right guys, here's our Chase Elliott car. As I say, I do believe they only run it through, is it 3 races in this livery. Obviously the guys out there will know more than I do. Salvinos JR models, made in the USA, 1 in 24 scale, 18 years or over. Well, I'm stuffed then because I model like a 4-year-old. Some more of the cars in the collection, if you want to call it that. Richard Petty, who I know is one of the, is it the King? I'm not sure, but he's the one that I think Hannants have got a couple of his older kits in. But they do obviously, you guys know in the States, but anybody else, they do a whole, obviously NASCAR like touring cars or whatever over here. It is obviously, there's 1001 schemes and whatever. So but as I say, there's 3 cars that run in the series, and they do trucks as well. Oh, yes, you know I love my pickup trucks. That's all I've driven mainly until the last few years. 4-wheel drives and 2-wheel drives. But yeah, there's obviously the truck series as well. We tend to call them pickups over here rather than trucks. But yeah. So that's that. And there's a lot more than that. Different schemes go for different prices because I can't really see any difference in the actual builds. Here's all our styrene. You'd think they'd put maybe the body shell in a bag, but never mind. I can see a little divot there, which I didn't. This is what caught me out on my hot rod I'm building from Revell. Just seen that in the light. There's like a little sink mark there. It is. Give these a good wash, I think, as well. There's a bit of release agents in that that sink mark there. I'm not going to be making too many observations because I'll be talking out my bum. I've got no idea. I just enjoy the racing. I'm starting to get my way around how they tow each other around and bump each other. They do reckon the Chevy's probably the better car for bumping, for as they were saying on a race from last year, which was actually this season's racing, if that makes sense, 2022. You'll get decals for the lenses. Because they're fake. The idea is, again, I'm talking to people that don't know that, just like say touring cars in Europe, the idea is to run a body that your average Joe in the street could look at and say, yeah, that's a whatever, you know. But engine wise and obviously all the inside safety stuff, there's a lot of difference, and that includes the lights. As I say, they usually put just to show that they could be street cars, I suppose. You get like stickers to put on the real car, that is. So there's our shell. We've got a tiny bit of moulding bracket there in. We've got a nice big stamped NASCAR and whatever, designed by Jim Roberts. JR. We've got some, obviously I wouldn't think they're going to be seen if they're going to put those there. So that's our body shell. Tyres with a centre seam down, nice and chunky, but they have that real, I just love the stance of the NASCARs as well. Thanks to old Tom, by the way. Not, you know, he wasn't going to say yay or nay, you know, to what we build for him. It's all tributes. Joe over at Mad Genius built him an airplane. We're all just saying thanks to old Tom for being one of them stalwarts of the community, really. He's always pleasant to deal with. I have contact with him on WhatsApp, even though he tries to block me from time to time. He doesn't really, but that's what I'm saying. He's just one of life's gentlemen, you know. And it doesn't help that or it doesn't hinder him that he's such a fine modeler. Right, people always say don't chuck your bags out and check them, and I've got several bits floating around in the bottom here. Is that exhaust manifold? A white piece, which I'm hoping is just a piece of broken sprue, and something else, no idea what, so be aware with that. I have no idea what I'm looking at here, apart from that looks like on the front of an engine. That's in a separate bag. Got the bonnet, got some nice louvers, and I take it that goes down at the front. Archie's telling me I'm making too many noises. We've got some nice bonnet catch details. I'll just touch it. Good job I got a new mat actually. It'll hopefully show me up any bits I drop, which the old mat looked like a relief map of the Himalayas. We've got our tunnel. Is that like a side pan? A door, you know, side doors by the look of it. 1001 ejector pin marks. That's going to take some getting out. Fairly rough. I mean, that's had a right old hammering. But I mean, that's at the back, so if that they couldn't get this frame out the mould. As I say, I'm being careful. I can't really say a lot because you know me, I'm not automotive. I'm just getting into it, so if I start saying stuff, it's going to be wrong, especially when it comes to, you know, sports vehicles. We've got a load of ejector pin marks, and there's definitely these would definitely need a wash off because there is release agent on them. Again, what can be seen, I've got no idea. It might be a case that none of these are seen or they're all seen, so until I get to actually read the instructions, I won't know. Let's get that out of the way. I won't be dealing with this anyway until I've got my Roadster out of the way. It won't be yet another one of let's start another project. Everything looks fairly crisp. There's a bit of, let's say, flash, just like there's a bit under there. There's a bit of thrifty stuff, as we'd call it. A tiny bit of flash around the sides. Again, some big old chunky ejector pin marks. But as I say, until I'll obviously when I start building it, we'll be able to see if anything's massively problematical, and they won't be, will they? I mean, it's building, isn't it? But you know what I mean. I for one, I'm useless at filling. I'm doing my best, but filling and sanding, I think, oh, that's brilliant, and then I put a primer over it, and it again is like Hadrian's Wall of lumpy putty that I thought I'd done a really good job of smoothing and didn't. Slight lumpiness to the shocks as well. But I've got to say, I've been really looking forward to getting one of these Salvino. I've seen several people build them on YouTube, and I just thought I've got to have a go at that. Especially now I watch it on the YouTube itself when I'm when I'm doing my figure painting, or modelling for that matter. I'll sometimes put a race on in the background. Sorry if we're going quiet, I'm just looking at, that's where obviously that manifold piece went missing. Usual mould lines on things, but obviously it's a kit, you're going to have mould lines on it. There's our body pan, as I'd call it, floor pan. Again, not much I can say on anything. It's just really just to give all you guys a show and tell, really, just to see what's coming up for old Tom. It's funny, I don't actually remember if Tom's actually built a Nascar that I've seen him build since I've known him, and I've gone through most of his back catalogue of videos. In fact, I was looking at some of his stuff the other day on that Ford GT that he did. We've got the safety mesh type of thing for the driver. And that's it. I say not not overly hard. Oh well, I won't take the clear parts out the bag, but we'll have a quick look at the instructions. What have we got in here? Clear parts? Just clear parts. I mean, they're looking okay, but obviously I'm looking through a bag. But I don't really want to get these out and have them scratched. It's a nice chunky. What have we got? Builders Club. Fans to make actually. In fact, this kind of I doubt I'll be in the Builders Club. The idea is to get them fairly cheap, as in that I can afford. I would like to build a few NASCARs, so let's just have a quick look at these decals. We've got two lots. Of course we have, Gav. Right, so these are I mean, they are beautiful, aren't they? Look at those. Front grille and whatever. And we say we've got our fake lights. And then, let's put that on there, let's not get those damaged in any way. Oh, these are nice and bright. Gav likes colours. Weird, I never wear them myself, but but I do like bright colours on my cars. It's weird how that's looking through the lens. It is orange, and it is looking through orange through the lens, but it's even changed already. So we've got the usual Hooters. Hooters is a chain. Go and look it up. And then we've got all our usual Sunoco fuel and all this oil and fuel or whatever you call it. Obviously got to have the NASCAR logos on. And obviously with the fueling point. Napa Autos, and on obviously we've got our Eagle Goodyears for the tyres. Let's get another cover on that. Let's see if we can have a quick scoot through. Oh, I thought that was going to be a booklet then, but it's not. So obviously notes, we've got decal placements. Building up our engine. I've been looking at trying to. I would like to try and make something more of this if I could, like do the engine wiring and stuff. I've been looking at NASCAR engines today when I got this in. Can we go back, Gav? So I'm not going into it in any depth. It all opens up like this, does it? Well, we're going to be stuffed really because I haven't got the camera room. Instructions are a nice, like, glossy material, and I probably hope for like a lot of the companies now are doing like booklets. They're just, for me, they're just easier to you know, flick backwards and forwards to. But you ain't gonna moan. As I say, I've waited a long time to get one of these Salvino Nascars. So I don't mind doing the Revell ones from the 90s. The only thing is, one, I'm not watching that era, but they still look some lovely cars. I know the wheel nuts and that, the wheels changed, or the rims changed to these centre ones that just come off rather than just all the nuts around them and that. But it's just the fact that if you buy an older, if you're in the States and you've got the NASCAR, you know, you can get decals quite easy. But although I've got this cheaply through the post, I'll guarantee you the minute I try to get some decals from the States, it'll cost me a blooming fortune. So yeah, that's it really. I'm not going to go into massive depth on that. I take it looks fairly straightforward, as in, I'm looking again. Yeah, well, it'll be what it'll be. So there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. What can possibly go wrong? I really hope for Tom's, just because it's for Tom, that I can make a decent job of it. I would like to do some added details to it, maybe. See, I know they do aftermarket the netting for the safety netting for the driver. You know, to have it maybe down. Then again, you won't probably see some of the livery then on the. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But so I'm just saying, if you go to town on the inside, if there's anybody going to see it, you know, but, we'll see. So, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. It's been a long one. They always are. As I say, this is for old Tom. If you don't know old Tom, he's got it'll be a link to his channel, a link to hopefully Jeff's channel, who's hosting it. You know, just go and check Tom's channel out. He builds automotive, not occasionally, he does an egg plane every year. Very, very occasionally he might do something else, like a figure or something. It's usually as a tribute to somebody, or, you know, if somebody was into that particular thing. But it's mainly automotive. I don't really want to pin him down, because he's known for his hot rods, but hot rods, drag cars, or dragsters, funny car. Oh, obviously they're into the dragsters, aren't they? But funny cars, gassers, standard cars. Sometimes it depends, which really just depends, whatever takes his fancy. But he does it to a massively high standard. He wins, goes into competitions, he wins loads of medals. But he's just an approachable, easygoing fella. You know, if he can help you out, he will do. So yeah, if you fancy jumping in on this build, it goes on for a year. As I say, Jeff's doing it, but I don't really care. It's like the NASCAR group build. If I run out of time or if it's already gone, you know, it is what it is. I'm quite happy to carry on doing my thing and still say it's in that particular group or whatever. So, you know, yeah, think about doing something for old Tom. It doesn't have to be a car. As I say, Joe did a World War II aeroplane. So, you know, if it's something that you fancy doing, but, you know, put it to our fellow YouTuber, old Tom, I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. So, thank you very much. Look after yourselves. Sorry I've gone all over the shop with this again. I can never seem to do an unboxing without rambling all over the shop. I can't believe, actually, looking at this body shell, just how big this car's going to be. I suppose my little Roadster, it doesn't. It could actually fit right over that Roadster, I reckon. So, yeah. Check that Rare Waves out. As I say, if you're in the UK, you might want to check it out if you're in the US. I don't know, but especially if you're a UK builder and you're getting hammered for US made kits that you might want to do from the 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, whatever floats your boat, or not, as the case may be, but you know what I mean. Take a look at that Rare Waves. As I say, I've got one coming in at as I say, fully legal, as in it's not been put down as a gift or something like obviously like the Chinese do. It's actually going through our postal system correctly, and they've still got it to me for £23 something. And as I say, this one you could call it almost a top of the range kit, you know, as it's a new build and all the rest of it, and that still only cost me £38 all in, and that's from the States. So yeah, you might want to look at that. Right, look after yourselves, and I'll try and give it a couple of days before I put another video up. There'll be another Napoleonics video next. It's up, down, all over the shop. I get people signing up after they see a nap video going up of Napoleonic horses. Oh, they're brilliant, they are. Next thing they see is a Roadster, 29 Roadster. What the heck have I signed on for? And then you get the guys that like automotive. Hey, Gav's doing a Roadster, and then they get next videos of Napoleonic horses. It explains a lot why my channel doesn't move forward very fast. So look after yourselves, and again, thank you for all the kind words and the support. And hopefully, Sean, yours is, if this one got, you know, actually and got misdirected or whatever, if this one got through, hopefully yours gets through, and we'll have yet another rambling unboxing. Thanks a lot, guys.